Hey guys, this is Lindsay with Vinyl Gallery and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be working on this neon power wash spooky themed tumbler. I will try to leave everything that I use listed and linked in the description box. And if you'd like to see how we finish this tumbler off, stay tuned. I'll be starting off with a 25-ounce duo stainless steel tumbler from Hogg, and I just prep it like I normally do, and I'm going to wash it with some rubbing alcohol and a coffee filter. These are the spray paints that I'll be using on this tumbler today, and I'm just going to take it outside and randomly spray this tumbler with absolutely no rhyme or reason at all. I let my cup dry for about 30 minutes or so. And now I'm applying the epoxy, and I like to use the epoxy method to apply my glitter, and I'm just going to randomly pat my cup to give it some texture because I will be using all fine cuts of glitter today. I'm going to start off with Razzle Dazzle, the fine cut version of this glitter by 4K Glitter Co. And I'm just randomly sprinkling it wherever the green is on my cup. There is literally no rhyme or reason to this method. I just didn't want to do a swirl or an ombre. I just wanted to have random spurts of color all over the tumbler. And this is Pretty in Pink. This is the fine version. It also comes in a chunky from 4K Glitter Co. And I'm just repeating the same process, not sprinkling too hard. At this point, we're just basically sprinkling by color. And I am just doing the rough draft on the glitter because I will try to blend it in once I have applied each color. And this orange is Orange You Cute, and it's a fine cut from 4K Glitter Co. as well. And again, we're just lightly sprinkling because in the end I will try to blend all of the colors together so you don't see the harsh lines. Then I'll be going in with Lemonhead. This is a neon yellow iridescent, and it is from 4K Glitter Co. as well. And again, no method, just sprinkling wherever I see yellow on the cup. A cheat method to this is you could have sprayed this tumbler the exact same way and then used an opal white glitter and just dumped it on the cup, and it would have kind of given you the same look. I chose to use different color glitters because I wanted it to be as bright and as vibrant as I could get it. Now I'm going in kind of heavy with this pink, and I'll do the exact same thing, and I'm tilting and angling my cup because I am trying to get the colors to melt and blend into the other colors. We're going to repeat the same process again, but now we are going more heavy-handed with the glitter, and I am tilting and angling my cup just to try to get the colors to blend so that you don't see the harsh lines with the spray paint. Once we had layered all of that glitter, I am taking it and I'm just rolling it in this parchment paper to get it as flat as I can. Even though it is all fine cut glitters, I still do this just to make my epoxy application smoother, and this is what we have so far. I applied 2 coats of epoxy and it was completely smooth at this point, and I'll be moving into the sanding routine. So for this tumbler, I had to break out my handy dandy Dremel tool with the nail file attached at the end. I normally use a sanding block, probably 60 grit, to sand down my rims. However, we will be doing a power wash on this with spray paint, so I wanted to sand down a little bit more than I typically do. Using the Dremel just makes it a little bit easier to sand down a thicker line of stainless steel than you normally would, and it just makes it easier for cleanup once you go in to resand it for your final layers of epoxy. I did take my sanding block and I smoothed the rim and the bottom, and this is where I made an error. I sanded the body of my cup because I had been letting it sit for a few days, and I thought I needed to do that for better adhesion for my stencils and my spray paint when we got ready to power wash. However, I ended up not liking the power wash and took it and wiped it down with alcohol, and the spray paint was inside of the sanding mark. So if you're going to power wash, make sure you have a smooth surface. So for my stencils, I found these on Creative Fabrica. I will leave a link down in the description box on how you can get a subscription if you are interested. But I found these spider webs and I just cut them in all different sizes on my Silhouette Cameo. And I'm using Starcraft stencil vinyl. Using stencil vinyl just makes it a whole lot easier to remove once you have applied your spray paint. If you do not have stencil vinyl, you can use removable vinyl as well. Oracal 631 is removable, and it just makes it a lot easier and a lot cleaner when you remove your stencils after you spray paint. Now that my decals are placed, I'm going to take this outside and give it a quick spray with power wash, and I ended up having to spray it twice. Again, I sanded it down and then I didn't like how it turned out the very first time, so I took some acetone and alcohol and completely wiped the cup down, and that's when I realized that my spray paint had stuck into my sanding marks. So long story short, make sure your cup is smooth in the event that you don't like how the power wash turns out and you have to respray it. So after the power wash was done, it did take about 25 to 30 minutes to completely dry, and then I was able to remove my stencils. To remove my stencils, I am using a weeding pen from Tech Wrap Craft, and I love to use these when my vinyl is small or I have thin lines. And this is what we have so far. I did coat this with a very thin layer of epoxy. I think this coat was about 15 to 20 milliliters of the fast set epoxy. While that layer of epoxy is curing, I did go ahead and cut my decals. This vinyl is from Oracal. This is the fluorescent adhesive vinyl, and it is 6510. Now this is a lot thicker than just regular Oracal 651, so I ended up having to cut these decals twice because it did not cut all the way through the first time. So just a tip, when you are cutting this 6510 fluorescent Oracal vinyl, make sure you turn your pressure up. I think I ended up having to put it on my regular glitter vinyl settings to cut all the way through this. Once I weeded everything, I did use transfer tape to apply the first layer. I normally layer my vinyl before I place it on the cup, but I don't know what got into me that day. But I'm just randomly placing spider webs in different sizes and different colors just all around the cup. Now I will say, I think I did go a little haywire with these spider webs. If I make another one, I probably won't use as many, but I did use fluorescent orange, yellow, lime green, and hot pink. And I literally just randomly placed them all over my tumbler. I probably used too many. Y'all let me know in the comments if I should have taken some away. Now I did save this decal for last because I was a little bit frightened, because I normally do this before I place it on the cup, but I was able to get it on there and got it as straight as I could. And here's why I normally layer my vinyl before I place it on my cup, right there. Now this decal had a double layer circle around it, and I got a little too hasty with pulling off my transfer tape and pulled one off. I tried to fix it off camera for you guys, but I was not able to save it, so I just pulled it off and left the one circle instead of the two. I'm just going to speed right through weeding these spider webs. I wish in real life that I could weed this fast, but I'm a very slow weeder. Once I had covered my entire cup with these spider webs, I did seal all of my vinyl with a thin layer of quick coat from CCDIY, and I let that dry for about 30 to 45 minutes before I went in with another layer of epoxy. This cup ended up needing 2 final coats of epoxy. For the first layer, I did use the fast set. However, for the final layer, I did use the regular setting epoxy. And here we go again. Now that I have my final layers of epoxy on, I am going to clean the inside, give it a quick wash with Dawn dish soap and water, and this cup will be ready to cure for another 3 days. Now this tumbler wasn't so bad because I had already cleaned and sanded my rim before I did my power wash. But normally what I do is I take my heat gun and I heat the tip of my X-Acto knife, and it literally just glides right through any epoxy that's stuck to the rim. Then I take acetone and alcohol and clean off any paint or glitter that may have gotten inside. You would think I would know better by now. I do have a tumbler shield. After moving, I don't know what I did with it, but I am not going to keep going through this process. I am going to do better once I get this all cleaned up and washed. Here is the final result. Again, this is a duo tumbler, so it does come with a clear lid and then this lid that you see right here. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you saw, please give us a huge thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Until next time, bye.